Welcome back to Saturday Night Politics. I'm Donnie Deutsch. Let's get back to the wall. Moms, daughters, and sisters, this past week should remind Democrats more than ever there is a simple path to the White House, and it goes through women.
I look down the sidewalk and just see a row of just a row of bodies. There's people shot, some alive, some not.
It's got to stop. It's just got to stop. How many more of us do we have to die?
I'm broken. Not only was she my daughter, we were friends, best friends. Hug your kids and love them. Because you don't know in America now, when they leave, they may not come back.
Governments, please put your heart. Let my parents be free. I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
This is a prison. And they're in prison, and they're children, okay? They didn't harm anybody. They're not gonna come and bombard you or anything like that. They're children.
Guys, this is not who we are. And I don't care where your politics are, and I've always said women are stronger and smarter than men. They're gonna figure it out before us. And unless I'm crazy, Jackie, you put kids in cages with the ICE raids, with the mass slaughters, with Roe v. Wade, versus possibly taking health care away from people. These are issues that, as moms, they hit you in the gut. I've sat on so many of these panels, and I watch the men react and the women react, and you just see the faces on the women. It cuts deeper. And to me, if the Democrats do not, for lack of a better word, take advantage of that, I think that should supersede everything else.
Yeah, I don't even know if they really even need to take advantage of it. I think
I want to find the right word to understand that. Okay,
right,
I'm correct myself.
But you know, just women paying attention to Trump's Twitter feed and women, listening to the news on a consistent basis, they're repelled by his language, his narcissism. Especially not just swing female voters, but these Republican suburban moderates who I think your campaign was initially hoping to pick up in 2016.
More than we did.
Right. And this time around, they are going to be crucial.
I go, Adrienne, to my theory of the party of protection versus the party of assault. And you hit those nerves because moms, it's about protection to them. And I think, and once again, it's not even about all the gross pornographic type things he says. It's about protecting your kids, and our kids' health is at stake, and our kids' safety is at stake, and who we are as people at stake. And that, to me, is a message that should resonate with everyone, but particularly with women voters.
Well, absolutely, Donnie, and we know that gun safety legislation is the most important issue to a lot of these college, suburban, educated
But it's all of it. That's my point. It's not just guns.
It's not just guns. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything, exactly. But all of these issues collectively, they work in the favor of Democrats because Donald Trump single-handedly opposes every single one of these issues. He's the one. This week, it was insane, Donnie. We had kids that were taken, or parents that were, taken away in ICE raids, children who are abandoned. You just showed that segment there. And then also we had, 2 mass shootings with targeting Hispanics and African Americans. I mean, it is not rocket science to figure out how to put all this together and make sure that people remember this next November when they go out and vote. But I do worry, Donnie, that sometimes Americans have a short attention span, just like I addressed in the last segment. And we've got Democrats.
My next segment's going to answer that.
Democrats have got to keep reminding voters, because voters aren't just going to remember this on their own, right? Democratic candidates and whomever the nominee is have to keep reminding voters what we just saw this past week, and sadly what we will continue to see under Trump's presidency.
I want to use that as a good lead to our next segment, because that, to me, is really, really important. Let's go back to the wall. Back to the future. Memo to the media. A different kind of president merits a different kind of media coverage. Stop always talking about today. Focus on yesterday and tomorrow, and just get him to say what we all know what he wants to say.
And now you think you can get him to just say it?
I think he wants to say it. I need to shake him, put him on the defensive, and lead him right where he's dying to go.
You want answers!
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Did you order the code red?
Right, I did!
For our younger viewers out there, that's Jack Nicholson. Jay, I think there's a future and there's a back strategy. The future strategy, authoritarians tell you what they want to do. He's already told us. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with journalists saying to him, Mr. President, do you think if a reporter speaks in the wrong way, he should be in jail? Mr. President, do you think you should stay more? He wants to do it. So don't just talk about the story today. I think it's okay for the media to step out a little bit.
Well, they should. They should. And we've had these sorts of arguments throughout this week about New York Times headlines and how much so many people were hedging about calling the president a racist. But I think this is very important for anybody who's running next year. Because, again, all of these things are about, it's about the America that you're going to bring me, right? What are you bringing me? I don't want to talk about the past. We have to move away from this notion of this is not who we are. This country has always been this way.
Glaude had an amazing...
This is always what this country has been. Yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of the shooting of Mike Brown. I was in Ferguson, okay? I grew up around that area. I saw that violence. I got tear gassed. I've been pulled over by those kinds of police. You want to talk about the important women? The most important women in the Democratic Party are black women. Right. So you've got to be able to speak about what the future is and how this is what this country has always been. Now more people are experiencing, and this is my plan to change it. Because if you can sell that message, you can win the White House.
I think it's a future, make people terrified. Ask him. Tell us your plans. He wants to tell you, like Jack Nicholson. And as far as the past, every week, every day, every news show, on every show I'm doing from here on in, there will be the video, we're running out of time here, where you just basically see Trump speeches about invasion, Trump's, mentioning, where's my USA Today, where basically they lay out, it is so stunning that 64 rallies Trump has held, used the word invasion 19 times. He's used animal 34 times. He uses the word killer a dozen times. He's used the word get the hell out of our country 43 times and used words like predator, alien, killer more than 500 times. Show him saying that and then show the manifesto and then show the killing and do it every time. We don't have to walk away from it. So media needs to go back and look forward.
Yeah, just a quick message for my fellow reporters out there, because I'm not in the press room anymore, but the most effective questions for Trump are questions not tied to the news cycle.
Amen.
Do you think that undocumented immigrants are invaders? Do you think that every woman who has accused you of sexual assault is lying? What is the definition of Hamas? Just the most basic things to hold him accountable, regardless of whatever is going on that day. Our biggest mistake after Parkland was not asking Sarah Huckabee Sanders or the president every opportunity we got, what are you going to do about this mass shooting?
And that is so important. And guys, I know the media, I'm not a real media guy, I just play on the TV. And I know there's this kind of code of, we're playing in a different world now. We really, really are. And you gotta cover this guy differently. It's still, nobody's saying make things up. Ask him about the past, ask him about the future. Okay, up next, Tucker's Field of Dreams. The Fox News host downplaying the threat from white supremacists. If you build a safe space for racists, they will come. More Sunday Night Politics.